VannKraken here, World of Warships Legends Alpha Tester. There once was a relatively famous hockey player who said that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And it follows with similar logic that in World of Warships, you'll miss a lot of the main battery shots you aren't prepared to make too. In this first part of our easy aiming guide, we'll help you understand two visual cues to read target direction and speed to both set up and hit the critical shots in a match that can turn up the volume on your individual performance and make you the star of a winning team more often, just like the Great One. And we'll even give away a few game-changing bonus tips that will help you target and kill hidden ships with your main battery guns behind terrain too. Most World of Warships Legends players have heard something about the concept of main battery dispersion, or that a quasi-religious figure known as RNGesus mysteriously blesses or curses the accuracy of your shells through a complicated form of supernatural math. And on top of shells not going exactly where the aiming point is by design, new or improving players often miss easy shots that can make them feel increasingly frustrated about the game in general. So let's quickly put that negative stuff to rest by helping you achieve a better main battery hit rate with some simple, high-impact techniques. Our first principle of aiming focuses on preparing to take an accurate shot. If you can quickly read the direction your target is heading in and its speed, you're going to line up and connect a lot more of your main battery shots when you are ready to pull the trigger. For example, can you tell immediately if your quarry is going forward or backward? And are they traveling at a fast speed, a slow speed, or are they tempting fate by sitting entirely still? While these reads seem very simple, how rapidly you can make them during hectic live game scenarios is a core skill that will determine your ability to inflict more damage, get more kills, and win more matches. I am not gonna lie, when I was a new World of Warships PC player nearly 5 years ago, I shot a lot of water and fish near my targets before I finally recognized that there are two key visual targeting cues that reveal enemy ship movement. Ship smokestacks, or more specifically the engine smoke that they produce, and bow or stern wakes. These two telltale signals will not only help you line up accurate shots by revealing if enemy ships are moving, but they tip off the direction they're going in and their speed as well. Now, let's lay out 3 clear steps for using our target's engine smoke and hull wake to quickly read their movement and deliver successful main battery fire that is consistently on the mark. First off, if there is no engine smoke coming out of the enemy ship stacks and no frothy wake action near the waterline at the bow or stern portion of the hull, our target is a sitting duck and we can put our aim directly where we want our shells to land, as long as the targeted ship doesn't get underway and move during the flight time of our shells. Second, if smoke is present and it is trailing towards the stern or back of the ship, and there is a wake or whitewater churning at the bow or front of the ship, then our target is moving forward and we need to lead our shot in front of them to land our shells. On the other hand, a ship moving backwards will have engine smoke blowing towards the bow and a wake at the stern of the ship, so we need to aim behind our target. Third, how far we lead our aim depends on how fast the enemy ship is moving, and we can figure that out visually too. If the color of the engine smoke is relatively light and the wake is calm, a short lead will suffice. But if the engine smoke is dark or black and the wake is very frothy, our target is moving faster and we need to aim further ahead of or behind it to connect shots. While reading these cues alone should help your accuracy improve dramatically in a short amount of time, we'll cover how to precisely lead your aim at ships of different types in an upcoming video. So now that we've broken down the basics of assessing target movement, let's talk about a few special situations and tools that can help take your aim up another notch. Bonus tip number 1 concerns bow-in ships that are facing straight at us, which makes visually reading smoke and wakes a more difficult task, especially when the enemy ships are at a further distance where the smoke is hidden and wakes are harder to see. In this case, we can use the head-up display shell flight time and target range indicators, along with our own ship movement to figure out where to place our shots. If the shell flight and range is counting down to a lower number and we are not moving closer to the enemy ship ourselves, we can quickly determine that our target is moving forward and we need to lead it by aiming slightly in front of the ship. If the indicators are counting up to higher numbers when we are not moving closer, we'll do the opposite and place our shot slightly behind the enemy position as they are backing away. Bonus tip number 2 is an even more precise tool for determining both the range and heading of targets that is found on every ship in the game that carries torpedoes, and is known as the Torpedo Lead Indicator. What might be a bit less intuitive, especially for newer players, is that this is a great main battery gunnery tool too. It can give us some really important information on harder to see ships that are further from our position. Just select a target by placing the crosshairs on the desired ship icon, and the lead indicator will tell us the ship's direction of travel, as shown by whether the gray lead indicator aiming cone points in front of, right at, or behind the enemy ship, whether the target is closing range by turning into us or moving away by turning out, and finally, and this is the big one, it can give us the targeting information for ships that are currently spotted but blocked from our view by terrain. So if we have main battery gun arcs that will allow us to hit our target from our current position, we can use this torpedo lead indicator to place accurate shots onto hidden enemies with some practice. Or under completely different circumstances, it can help us determine the intent of opposition forces when holding a contested position, as we were able to do against multiple enemy ships here in our Scharnhorst without getting flanked. Our final bonus tip is for extra credit and helps set up more accurate shots for these pesky hidden ships like HE spamming cruisers that like to hug islands, when used either with the target range indicator or torpedo lead indicator. When spotted ships are blocked from our view by terrain, we can't tell by looking at the ship's icon whether they are sitting in a bow-in or broadside orientation, but we can tell how they are positioned by glancing at our trusty minimap. If we look at our own ship symbol on the minimap and we see that the target ship is pointed bow in towards our position, it calls for narrow or skinny aim on a straight line towards the ship icon, or slightly in front of or behind it if it is moving. And if our target is sideways to our own position, we want to shoot right at or slightly to the left or right sides of the ship icon for juicy broadside hits. And finally, we can also see which way the bow of the ship is facing from the minimap, which is a pretty good tell on which direction they are more likely to move in a given situation. In addition to these aiming tips for setting up successful shots, don't forget that practice, and giving yourself a goal of shooting for an average main battery hit rate of 30% or better, even if you don't quite get there, will push both your individual damage and kill stats and your overall win rate to higher averages over time. You can also use mellow sessions of AI mode to help you get more comfortable with the ballistics of a new ship's gun arcs, practice reading ship movements, or just work on general gunnery skills with less pressure than standard mode matches too. And maybe most important of all, don't just fire away the instant your guns reload. Try to be patient and wait an extra beat to see exactly what the engine smoke and wake are showing you before you just rush and pull the trigger. An extra second or two of preparation and aiming can make a big difference in accuracy, as the visual cues we have reviewed reveal your target's true intentions and you line up your shot with confidence. And now that you have some cool new tools for setting up shots and improving your aim, stay tuned for another video linked in the upper left corner of your screen to help take your main battery gunnery to the next level. And don't forget to check out our growing library of content here on our YouTube channel, or to join us for a live stream on YouTube or on Twitch. I hereby hope that this video helps you have more success and a lot more fun in your matches. This is VannKraken, thanks for watching, and I am out.